How to gain control of your emotions. At times, emotions can be uncomfortable, even scary. However, you should know that there is nothing inherently wrong with any kind of emotion. Controlling your emotions doesn't mean ignoring or repressing them. Controlling your emotions means learning to process them and respond to them in healthy, helpful ways. Think of this process as regulating your emotions, just as you would a thermostat. In addition to helping you feel more stable, learning to control your emotions can even improve your physical health. Controlling your emotions in the moment. Stop and refocus. It can be easy to get swept up in an emotion and end up reacting in ways that don't benefit you. If you feel yourself start to spiral into an uncontrollable emotional reaction, take a conscious step back from what is going on and focus on your physical senses. This can help divert your mind from feeling overwhelmed and keep you in the present moment. When you are emotionally stimulated, you will probably experience a variety of physical effects, such as a faster heart rate, tightened or tense muscles, and rapid or shallow breathing. Most people have developed emotional responses that are called automatic reactivity. This reactivity is a type of habit your brain has formed of reacting automatically to stimuli, such as emotional experiences, in a certain way. It can leave you feeling like you aren't in control of those reactions. Fortunately, you can retrain your brain by focusing on the present moment. Consciously examine your body's reactions. Imagine you are a doctor observing a patient. For example, if you are suddenly feeling anxious, notice what that feels like in your body. My heart is beating very fast. My palms feel sweaty. I feel nauseated. Acknowledge and accept these feelings as they are, rather than judging them as wrong or trying to get rid of them. Consciousness actually consists of many information paths that all tell us something simultaneously. Feeling overwhelmed emotionally can be caused by experiencing our emotional reactions as a jumble of feelings and sensory experiences that feel all tangled up. Slow down and focus on one element at a time, such as what you smell, what you touch, and what you see. This will help your brain learn to process these information paths more effectively, leaving you feeling less swamped by your emotions. Take charge of your breathing. When your body experiences intense emotions, you may enter the body's fight or flight mode. This response activates your sympathetic nervous system by sending adrenaline and other chemicals racing through your body, raising your heart rate, making your breathing shallower, and causing your muscles to feel tight and tense. Breathing deeply and evenly will help you feel calmer and will provide much-needed oxygen to your body, helping you relax. Place one hand on your chest and the other on your abdomen below your rib cage. Inhale slowly and deeply through your nose for a count of 4. Feel your lungs and abdomen expand as you fill them with air. Hold the breath for 1 or 2 seconds, then slowly release the breath through your mouth. Aim for 6-10 deep breaths per minute. If a full 4 count is difficult for you, you can start with a 2 count and work your way up with practice. Just try to make your breaths as deep and even as you can. Identifying and changing unproductive ways of handling emotions. Consider how your family handles emotions. Psychologists suggest that children learn emotional regulation, or the ability to regulate and control their emotions, from observing and modeling how their parents and family members deal with emotions. How you learn to bond with your parents as a child can also affect how you interact with others as an adult, in what is known as varying attachment styles. Understanding how your family handled emotions when you were a child can help you understand your current emotional habits. While it may be most helpful to explore your background with a mental health professional, there are some questions you can consider on your own. In your childhood, was conflict discussed openly, or was it an unwritten rule that you were supposed to avoid talking about unpleasant things? How did your parents handle emotions? Did they show them or hide them? Did they explode or sulk? Do you associate a particular emotion with a family member? Which emotion is the most uncomfortable for you? How does your family handle that emotion? Were there any emotions that were off limits in your family? Consider what you can do to resolve the situation. Sometimes, you may feel out of control emotionally because you can't see a way to resolve the situation that's causing the feeling. This can lead to ruminating, a broken record thought loop where you obsess about the negative thought or feeling in an unproductive, usually vague, way. Instead, try to focus on any specifics of the situation that you can address. For example, a ruminating thought about trouble at work might look like, "What's wrong with me? Why do things never seem to work out? Why do I suck at my job?" These vague, general thoughts are unproductive and unhelpful. Instead, make a list of things that you can address. For example, you might talk with your boss about how to increase your productivity, ask someone more experienced for guidance or instruction, or focus on stress management techniques that can help you feel more able to handle stress at work. There will usually be things that your own efforts can't address. It's important to accept this. For example, if you have a coworker who is spiteful and nasty to everyone, you cannot change his behavior. You can speak with him about how his behavior affects you, but you have to accept that what he does with that information is up to him. Letting go of the idea that you need to fix or control every element of a situation can be very liberating. Learn to recognize and challenge cognitive distortions. Most of us have heard the expression, looking at the world through rose-colored glasses. Cognitive distortions are unhelpful ways of thinking that encourage you to look at the world through mud-colored glasses. Cognitive distortions arise from allowing our emotions to convince us that something is true without examining it. Fortunately, these are learned habits, and you can unlearn them with a little practice. Responding to unpleasant emotions. Write down the evidence which supports or contradicts the thought that produced the emotion. Start connecting the dots about why you reacted the way you did. When you begin to think about it, you might realize that since nobody gets along well with this particular boss, he can't afford to actually fire anyone, because the department is too short-staffed. For example, you may have let slip something that you should not have said which angered him, but which it is too late to retract. His reaction at lunch may not be what you originally thought it was. Ask yourself, what is another way to look at the situation that is more rational and more balanced than the way I was looking at it before? Explore all the different possibilities. If nothing else, thinking about other possible interpretations will alert you to many different scenarios, and the difficulty of jumping to conclusions. Taking this new evidence into account, you may conclude that your job is safe, regardless of your boss's petty annoyances, and you're relieved of the emotion that was troubling you. If this doesn't work, however, continue to the next step. Make a choice. When deciding what to do, it's important to make sure it's a conscious choice, not a reaction to another, competing emotion. For example, if someone insults you and you do nothing, is it your decision, or is it a response to your fear of confrontation? Here are some good reasons to act upon. Principles. Who do you want to be? What are your moral principles? What do you want the outcome of this situation to be? Ultimately, which is the decision you'd be most proud of? Logic. Which course of action is the most likely to result in the outcome you desire? Reflecting on your feelings. Identify your feelings. Sometimes, it can feel like you don't even know what you're feeling. Taking the time to reflect on your feelings and identify them can give your emotions structure, which will help you feel more stable and able to handle them. Regularly identifying your feelings increases your self-awareness, which is a key component of self-confidence. You may find that having a list of names handy for possible emotions can help you identify what you're feeling in the moment. Make sure that your list includes pleasant emotions, such as love, joy, enchantment, compassion, amusement, and hope. Unpleasant emotions may include disgust, irritation, sadness, grief, anger, frustration, or gloom. Remember that just because emotions are unpleasant doesn't mean they're negative. Fear and anger, for example, evolved to keep us safe from danger. They can alert us when there is a threat. The trick is to recognize when these emotions aren't helpful. A list of clues can also help you identify your emotions. For example, a list of body and behavioral cues for love could include feeling excited, warm, or trusting, having a rapid heartbeat, hugging or cuddling, saying or hearing "I love you."